Greetings, Benjamin J from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, as you see, another motor assembled out of parts. Now, this was pretty much straightforward. This was a motor that was missing virtually everything, the E unit in particular. So when I see these things on eBay, if they come in a box of parts, I instantly snag them and set it aside. In 99.9% of the cases, the coil itself is still good. So if you assemble this thing, it will run. The problem is, without the E unit, the average person doesn't know how to wire this motor to make it run. So again, to do this bypass, if there's no E unit in the motor, run power to this side of the coil, run this side of the coil to the brushes, the motor will run forward. Anyway, I just got this assembled, so I ran it on the bench. I know it runs, so I just want to put it on the rail and see how it runs. So the very first run of a new, quote-unquote, motor on the rail. Zoom, zoom. Wow. That's running really well, no doubt. Anyway, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. Just because something's junk when you get it, doesn't mean it's going to be junk when you're finished with it. In this case, you have a running motor. It's single reduction, but it has a headlight and it's running. It's really difficult to beat that, especially for free. You know, just a bunch of parts. As I always say, if you've got a way to pull the wheels off and press them back on, you can fix anything. So in this case, if you want to replace the E unit, it's going to cost you a minimum of $12 to buy it and about $8 to ship it. So you're looking at $20 to repair a $5 motor. Is it worth it? The only person that can determine that is you, of course. In my opinion, no. I mean, why spend $5 to get a bargain on a junk motor and then spend $20 to repair it? That just doesn't make any sense to me. So if I buy it for $5, I usually use it for parts. In this case, it was parts. This was just parts out of the parts box. But the coil was good. It had the front wheels on it. It was missing the brush plate, and I just noticed that I've got this nut on upside down. So I've got to change that. Anyway, it's a great way to get up and running. You drop this into a shell and you have a really decent running locomotive that costs you absolutely nothing. I mean, this is literally just junk out of the junk box. I probably made 24 of these now. So if you have a working E unit, you can just drop the E unit into it. If you don't, bypass it. I just can't see spending $20 to repair a $5 motor. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, as you see, this is up and running absolutely perfectly. It runs forward only, but it runs. It has a working headlight. It's in decent condition. Drop this into a shell, you've got an instant locomotive that didn't cost you a dime. So I've got a bunch of 490 shells. So I might just drop this in a 490 shell and do a follow-up video on it. But as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. As you can see, this motor was never going to run again. I mean, this was trash. It was a trashed motor. The E unit is missing. Without the E unit, you cannot apply power to the motor. So you simply bypass it. Power goes to that side of the coil. This side of the coil goes to the brushes. It will run forward. Apply power here and apply the brush plate there. It'll run backwards. And of course, you can put in a switch. Of course, you can replace the E unit. Again, it just seems really, really pointless to spend $20 to repair a $5 motor. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this. You know, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. Is it perfect? Nope. But it's a running single reduction motor that was free. As you see, that's running absolutely perfectly. No problems with this at all. So you drop this into a shell of any kind, 898, 595, 490, 400. Any standard Marx shell, it gives you a new locomotive that costs you absolutely nothing. And you have the pride of knowing that you did it yourself. You know, take a bunch of old parts, assemble them into a running motor. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's a lot of fun. It's really inexpensive. And as I say, pennies on the dollar. And this thing will literally fly. I just barely got this voltage cracked, as you see. So, in any case, I'll drop this into a shell, might do a follow-up on it. The nice thing about it, of course, is it's running. So, building motors out of parts. It's a easy skill to acquire, and once you have a supply of parts, you'd be surprised of the stuff that you can make. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.